Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the bakery. Today, we've got another Resident Evil entry, this time one of the first-person games. We're gonna see if I can beat Resident Evil 7 with only handguns.
Buckle up for the sweetest ride and prepare to have your mind blown wide.
No way, Leon.
Way.
So, as for the rules, they're pretty self-explanatory. We can only use handguns to attack things. All other items, like healing juice, are okay. Melee is allowed in the event of it being necessary or an emergency. This might not sound like much of a challenge, but bear in mind, there are some enemy types in this game that you can't really hit with traditional ballistic weapons, as well as some pretty high health bosses. So, we'll be seeing how viable handguns only is in this challenge, as we're also on hardcore, or Madhouse, I guess. That's all the rules, though. Holy crap. I remember this game looking so real when it came out, but nowadays it is looking rough. Anyway, let's get started with a drive to the dream destination of everybody anywhere ever at all, the ass crack of Louisiana itself, the Bayou. As we walk up to the Baker house, I want to say I actually would love to visit the Bayou. It looks like a beautiful area, and I'm sure it has some absolutely incredible food, a cornerstone of any culture. Ooh, spooky. I wonder who that fellow over there was. Here we are at a sub-residence of the old Baker inhabitation, though, and let me say, horror games don't affect me hardly at all, and they never really have, but when I was a younger cake, this game used to scare the crap out of me. I think, even if it isn't scary to me today, this is definitely the scariest of the Resident Evil games. Ew, yucky pot. I would definitely be freaking out more about that roach. Ooh. Game developers allow your players to skip the slow-moving exposition section if they've played before. Challenge impossible. Man, these guys sure are saying the F word a lot. This is definitely gonna have an uncensored version, which you can find on the Patreon. I can't believe we're dead. Good thing that wasn't us, Ethan. Hey, look, it's Mia, in a very Ashley-esque situation. And everybody's favorite staple Resident Evil tool, the bolt cutters. Wake up, lady, your knight in shining armor has officially arrived. We follow Mia through the basement, and she has a bit of a breakdown. What can I say? Wenches be trifling. My fault. Here's a Mia doll. I can't believe Mia already got kidnapped. You turn your back for 1 second. Here we get our first actual pieces of loot before hearing some banging on the door. Clearly that's a vampire, and we should not invite them in. Video over. Good night, everybody. Let's just see, shall we? Oh, hi, Mia. Well, that was certainly painful. Good thing we've got Markiplier's patented goop juice. That sounds really bad. Well, there's our first death. Boy, what a fool I was to think swinging a hatchet at somebody's head would split it open instantaneously. I can't believe she's dead. Not. Spoiler alert for an 8-year-old game you're watching a video about. She's not dead. Who'da figured? Yellow? Well, looks like we're being summoned to the attic. First, we gotta grab this fuse, though. Mia, please, I didn't say. I can't believe our hand is gone. If only we had some goop juice. Gun! Old friend. And lots of ammo. Wow, I don't remember having this much for this part. Looks like I chain, I saw, I conquered. How do you like my Leon quip? I've been practicing. Hey, it's the gameplay version of that one Texas Chainsaw Massacre scene. I'm gonna be honest, guys, there's a lot in this game that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show or not. Sorry. Hey, a coin. Can you guess what that means? Think about what kind of weapon the Magnum is. Jack may have startled me a bit, but we're fine. In the crawl space that I bet smells absolutely horrific now. Hello? Sorry, Zoe, I wasn't paying attention. Could you say that again? Oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'll just figure it out myself. Hello, Mr. Police Guy. It always bugged me how dismissive this officer was. Like, you are investigating the house where several people have gone missing, and somebody in the house, clearly battered, asks for your help, yet you remain skeptical. Like, how much writing do you need on the wall? Regardless, it's ignorance like that that causes this to happen, and our own ineptitude brings on our second death. To be fair, this car's turn radius is unbelievable. So, no idea how this didn't hit us. The perspective here makes literally no sense at all. What are we, a friggin' turtle? Jack is dead though, so we finally get to escape. Man, Resident Evil sure does love its golden animal part puzzles. Look, it's a weapon that I'm unfortunately not allowed to use. Right Right off the bat, we used this clock pendulum to grab one of the dog's heads. Then I made a mistake, and now I'm gonna have to deal with Jack in this segment after all. Great. After a really annoying chase with Jack, we finally get to take a breather after solving this light puzzle. Just to get licked in this hallway. And do you know why that's so frustrating? In Madhouse, there's practically no autosave. And our last save was before we had the garage fight with Jack. Break time! Since there isn't really anywhere to fit an animal cookies segment into this video, there is a serious lack of animals in this game. I'm just gonna do it here during my frustrated break time. Did you know turtles, more specifically the group of reptiles turtles belong to, is actually older than even alligators and crocodiles? They're even more ancient than what people commonly refer to as living dinosaurs, having rubbed shoulders with the real dinosaurs. This is a pretty well-known fact, but turtle shells are actually a part of their skeleton. Their shells make up their spine and connect directly to their ribcage. That's why it's so dangerous for them when a plate of their shell breaks. I've never pondered this, but apparently some turtles are carnivores. I mean, I guess it makes sense considering sea turtles munch on jellyfish, but I just never really considered that. Finally, another well-known fact, turtles live an incredibly long time. The oldest turtle ever recorded, according to Nat Geo, lived to be 188 years old. And no, turtles and tortoises are not the same thing. But back to the age thing, assuming the measurement that one human generation is 20 years, that turtle lived for almost a full 10 generations of humans. That's your great times 7, Grandpa. Unfortunately, many species of turtle, and I mean many, are endangered. There's about 350 currently documented species of turtle on the planet. Almost half of those, 161 to be exact, are endangered, with 51 of those being in critical status. So if you'd like to keep these guys around, please visit the World Wildlife Fund in the description and donate to animal conservation efforts today. Every bit counts. Now that all the animal cookies have been eaten and we finally found the final dog head, try saying that 5 times fast, we're into our next Jack confrontation, where after a super metal chainsaw doomcore fight, we come out on top and finally get to leave this godforsaken house. Not the property though, that would be too easy. Everyone, look, the Magnum. For 9 coins. Do you know how many we happen to have? Ooh, I can feel the power coursing through my veins. Ben? It's time for us to head into the old house, which is the part of the game I have easily been the most worried about. You'll see why. See these big fly guys? Yeah. Now imagine a ton of those, much smaller, and you have to use a flamethrower to kill them. That's why I was saying handguns only might be more difficult than you would anticipate as a viewer. Here's a cool backpack for us to carry more stuff though. That's useful. So now, by this point, I have a decision to make. The thing is, destroying the bug nests with the flamethrower is required to progress, but obviously, we'd be killing bugs by doing that. So should it be allowed or should the challenge be invalidated? What I've decided on is I'm only allowed to use it on bug nests, no enemies. And that way, in my mind, the challenge is still valid. But if you disagree, I apologize. Hopefully you'll stick around to continue the journey. After making it through this fireplace, look who it is again, Mia. Getting kidnapped, of course, because what else does she do? After that though, we gotta work around Margaritaville and her bugs before finally moving through, I think, my nightmare situation and finding the crank. I always wanted to raise bridges. Pro key obtained. Man, we are very quickly approaching the specific segment of this game that I have been really worried to reach. So after a lackluster jump scare, we used the flamethrower to get out of the hole. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, you remember that talk we had a second ago about if the challenge is still valid? It's kind of invalidated now anyway. It was kind of an emergency. We ran out of ammo. We only had 10 rounds and the bugs took all of it. None of it hit Marguerite. So yeah, challenge failed, but we'll continue through the game using handguns. I'm not entirely sure that part is even possible without the flamethrower, to be honest, but regardless, it's up to you really to decide if we failed or not. The mummified fetus has been obtained. Time to go upstairs, and I'm worried, guys. We have no ammo save for a single magnum round, no heals, and no crafting materials. So I do the only thing I can. I buy some steroids. Oh, yeah. The steroids make me think a little more clearly, and I realize there's ammo to pick up that we don't need, and we have some separating agent. So, after grabbing this crow room and realizing each grenade round gives you strong chem fluid, so with the treasure photo outside, all the crafting, and the pre-fight prep materials, we should be totally fine. Let's do this.
Oh no, it all went wrong!
So, we are not totally fine. I don't know what the hell is going on with Marguerite, but for several attempts now, she's completely face-tanked 30 handgun plus rounds, 55 regular rounds, and 4 magnum rounds directly to her weak spot stinky cooter. It's so bad. So much so that I decided, screw it, we gotta keep moving forward, and we just failed for a second time. Lantern placed and creepy Evelyn's room entered. Evelyn speaks to us a little, but we pay her no mind. Why should we? She's the one causing all this. Secret hatch door thing and arm obtained. Halfway to the cure. Time for a more relaxing segment of the game. It's Lucas's puzzle bonanza. Luckily enough for us, there aren't too many enemies here to concern ourselves with. First up, digging around in a corpse to find a key, everybody's favorite. And, alright, I may have misremembered how this section goes, quite heavily. It's been a minute since I've played this game, so I didn't remember the countless high damage enemies that you have to face as you walk through the narrow pathway we gotta go through. We have 0 ammo and 0 heals. Zip. Zilch. Nada. With, like I said, one very narrow path to go through, chock full of high damage enemies, where even 1 or 2 attacks from them when guarding puts us into critical status. So, I make the executive decision to say, the jig is up, pal. I'm not even going to be able to beat the game. I knew playing this on Madhouse, in addition to already having the restrictions that we've set, would be a mistake. We just don't have the resources, and I'm sure if we were playing on normal, this would be a cakewalk. So I'm probably going to have to redo this challenge in the future. It's not entirely because of the difficulty though. I do have to admit I'm also kind of being lazy about recording because I have a really big video that I got to start recording for, like today. Not today for you, but today for me at the time of the voiceover. And I've been kind of addicted to playing one of my favorite Souls-likes of all time because it just got a DLC. So I have been pretty much non-stop playing Lies of Peak for the last few days. Now switching to spoilers of the content for the Lies of P DLC in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing this pretty much non-stop, skipping recording days and such, but it's not entirely because I've been addicted to this. It's honestly also just because I didn't expect to have so many roadblocks on the challenge, and severe roadblocks at that. It kind of really just turned me off of playing the game. So, regrettably, we could not beat Resident Evil 7 with only handguns. But we're definitely gonna have to try again. The challenge was weirdly difficult, but really I do think it's just because we were on Madhouse. On normal, I'm certain the challenge would have been much easier. Next time we try it, I just gotta make sure I focus on recording, even if Peak releases. Make sure you visit the World Wildlife Fund if you're feeling generous enough to donate to animal conservation. And stay tuned into the channel because, like I said, I've got a special video coming out next week. And there also may or may not be a Lies of Peak challenge I'm working on pretty soon. Otherwise, sorry for the short video, it sucks, I know, I hate it too, but that's all I have for you guys today. So, as always, have a fantastic day.